That's tomorrow. And that is it for us today. Okay, I don't know. Whatever it is, it's not right on the teleprompter. I don't know what that is. I've never seen that.
No, there it is. We are going to do Sting, yeah.
Okay, but yeah, I can't read it. There's no words on it.
Okay. Ready? Sure.
There's no words there. To play us out. What does that mean? To play us out. That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. And we will leave you with a. I can't do it. Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it, and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks. That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks again for watching. We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.
Off the layers, take off your makeup for this time, 'cause I am a dreamer, but those are not the things that turn me on. Perfect irony, hoping for something great and new to feel lost in symmetry. I'm blinded by the lights that set me free. See you at the end of this road if I get there. Guess growing old was not the right key. Lock up what you can see. Sink monsters in the sea, or keep them in your ceiling. Don't you mind? I'll slow down for a bit to get the big picture of where I wanna be. I don't know where it is. I'm getting sick and tired of feeling like this. It won't get fucking better. I'm lost in the abyss. I just can't get away among all the houses. I can't live like this. I'm far from progress. I made a promise that I'll never hurt myself again. I made a promise that I'll never lie to myself again. But if it's silent, no, I'll say the fucking same. Hurt myself again. I'll stay the fucking same. Hurt myself again. I'll stay the fucking same.
That new one was by Atlas for Home and Dory Loop with Stay the Same. Good morning, everybody. Today is Friday, March 10th. The time is now 7:11 a.m. in the Central Standard Time, and we've got some stuff to do today. We're going to talk about fallen angels and fallen angels. So pull up your seat, get comfortable. Hopefully you do have freshly ground coffee. And if not, just get some coffee or tea or whatever hot drink it is that you like to comfort yourself with. We're going to get into some stuff today. I'm just going to take my time. We're in absolutely no rush. Thank you for tuning in. I'm RJ Shine, and I'm really excited to be here today. Thank you all so very much. Let's go into this. Let's look at the first one. It says patience, something that I'm constantly having to work on here. It has to be the thing that, Ronnie, you just need a little more patience. And Ronnie, just work on being calm. And, you could develop a little more patience skills. It is something that we're working on every single day. At least I am. It says here, what's meant to be yours is already making its way to you. What was never yours is starting to flee from you. With time, it will all make sense. But for now, it says, bear the confusion and focus upon living fully in the present now. And be happy now. It says, so go on and turn your frowns upside down. Let's all smile and enjoy this time together, okay? It's the best that we can do in this crazy, twisted, satanic, fallen angel realm. But it says here, open your eye. It is our own mental attitude which makes the world what it is for us. Our thoughts make things beautiful or ugly, not our eyes. The whole world is in our minds. Learn to see things just as they are. Learn to see souls instead of bodies by using your intuition instead of your eyes. That's beautiful, right? Are you seeing with your heart and your intuition, or are you seeing with your eyes, with your physical eyes? How about your spiritual eyes, right? This one says, if you light a lamp for someone else, it will also brighten your path. That was a quote from Buddha. I like that one. This one says, mindset. Everything happens on a mental level before it manifests on a physical. Excuse me. This is why it's so important to get your mindset right. You have to believe in yourself no matter what the external circumstances are. Strengthen your vision and have hope that things will get better. Not possibly. It says here that things will get better, right? This one says energy. Your energy is a gift. Not everyone deserves to have access to it. Not everyone deserves to emotionally and mentally benefit from it. Save your energy for those who genuinely care for the evolution of your spirit. Beware of people you allow in your energy space. If you attach to the negative energy of others, it brings you down to their level. Negativity may knock at the door, but that doesn't mean you have to let it in. Protect your energy. It's your life force. Not anyone else's. It's yours, right? And also remember this about your energy. Your yin and your yang. We all do, yes, have feminine yin and masculine yang energies within us, regardless of our gender, right? Learn how to embrace both energies within you to create a balance and unity. That's what we want to promote here on the Rise and Grind. Balance, consistency, and unity with all things. This says, spirit evolution. You shouldn't try to stop everything from happening. Sometimes you're supposed to feel awkward. Sometimes you're supposed to be vulnerable in front of people. Okay, it's necessary because it's all a part of your mind and everyone else that tunes in and that does anything. It's a part of our spiritual evolution together. As a collective group, we work as a team. We evolve together as a team. This one says fasting, very important to do. Fasting can help clear up the mind and strengthen the body and the spirit. Many of us do not eat for hunger. We actually eat for pleasure. Absence of constant pleasure exposes you to the emotions you mask with your habits. When you are finally exposed to who you truly are, this is where the healing process starts, right? Physically, emotionally, and spiritually. We start and we heal together. This one's beautiful. It's from John 4:14. It says, in him shall be a well of water springing up to everlasting life. And this is a living waters. In him shall be a well of living waters. Right? There's a difference between water and living water. Living water actually has bubbling oxygen infused to it. It's a natural spring. Some beautiful art. Let's get into another beautiful song, and we're going to get into some news. And we got some fallen angels and fallen angel stuff to talk about. So I'm going to see you guys after this break.
Run my river while the night is setting down. I'm turning my head backwards, trying to pretend that all this
silence might just sell me out. I'm playing the victim, I just help somehow. Maybe the fading light will guide you straight back home to me. Fall in love to set you free. Maybe the rushing tide will guide you straight back home to me.
Brand new one was by Nathan Ball with Set You Free. Great, easy song to ease us into the news. Thank you for tuning in. And again, now the time is 7:20 a.m. in the Central Standard Time, and we have got some news for you. But first, obviously, want to have some coffee. Check this out. This is the size of the coffee that we use here at Rise and Grind, okay? Gotta be grande. Mucho, mucho grande. That's how it's done, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you get yourself a big Mucho Grande coffee, just like that, okay? Freshly ground. Make sure it's big. Make sure you get enough. That's how we do right here. Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. Let's get into some of this here news. Let me make sure the background music is not too loud. Let me just check here. Good morning, everybody. We got some stuff to cover. Let's go. Let's get into this. Pull up your chair. Let's do this here. International Women's Day of Courage Award, went to a biological male. It's true, if you believe it or not. Now we're going to get into some of the most important news of the day. This crazy Trump mania is coming back to an internet browser near you. Look at this here. This person says, I love Trump. Looking down here, we got Trump touching someone's face. It says, try to understand the weight of this image. The patriot lost both his arms. The feeling of a handshake is lost to him. So President Trump realized this and was so touched, he moved and touched his face so he could feel the human connection, right? This is what I see when I think of Trump's motives. If anybody out here thinks that Donald J. Trump is touching people's faces because they don't have arms because he loves these people, you have got a serious problem, and you're about to find out soon enough exactly how serious that problem is going to be. Moving on, we get Donald Trump wins the CPAC, I guess the CPAC straw poll. He smashed DeSantis. It says here 62% to DeSantis' weak-ass 20%. So Trump is going to be the next candidate. But hey, the best of all is check this meme out. The alien meme. It says, can we land yet from this one alien? The other alien says, no, it's too early. At the moment, they're trying to change the weather by eating bugs, right? Moving on from that one. It's true, that's what they're trying to do here. Hey, we got some interesting stuff that should not be truncated. It says here, London's homeless plan to include shelter hubs around the city to help those in need. So it's good to see that people are starting to look into to deal with things to do with the homelessness, which is a serious problem here. I have to turn my mic down just a touch. It was redlining. Still redlining, but I'll just try to talk away from the camera. Maybe it'll be better. Check this one, okay? After the first installment of Tucker Carlson's look at the Capitol surveillance video from January 6th, Chief Tom Manger sent his memo to his department Tuesday denouncing the show as filled with offensive and misleading conclusions. So, if you haven't heard, let me set this up correctly. Tucker Carlson on Fox News, which Fox is the gematria of 666, they're coming out and saying that the whole January 6th thing was a setup. It was a fake. It was an attack against the right perpetrated by the left. We've got all these people in the Congress and in the Senate, and they're all... I just want people... Listen, if you think Tucker Carlson, the guy that wears this Kabbalistic Masonic bracelet, if you think he's, for 1 second, gives a shit about you and this country, you've got a brain damage problem. None of the people on TV, none of the politicians are there for you. It's all a psyop, it's all an agenda. But let's get in, let's have a look, let's listen. Let me turn this down for a second. Let's see what Tucker has to say. Turn up, let's go.
We're going to get insight with footage that shows you what was actually happening inside the Capitol. The footage does not show an insurrection or a riot in progress. Instead, it shows police escorting protesters through the building, including the now infamous QAnon shaman. Watch. These are the pictures you've seen of January 6th. They're familiar because they've been playing on a loop on every media outlet in America for the last 2 years. There's a reason for that. But it turns out there's quite a bit of video you haven't seen. And that video tells a very different story about what happened on January 6th. More than 40,000 hours of surveillance footage from in and around the Capitol have been withheld from the public. And once you see the video, you'll understand why. Taken as a whole, the video record does not support the claim that January 6th was an insurrection. In fact, it demolishes that claim. And that's exactly why the Democratic Party and its allies in the media prevented you from seeing it. By controlling the images you were allowed to view from January 6th, they controlled how the public understood that day. They could lie about what happened, and you would never know the difference. Those lies had a purpose. They created a pretext for a federal crackdown on opponents of the Uniparty in Washington.
Our office wanted to ensure that there was shock and awe, that we could charge as many people as possible.
The first thing you notice from viewing the full video record of January 6th is just how many people entered the Capitol building that day. Hundreds and hundreds of people, possibly thousands, over the course of about 2 hours. The crowd was enormous. A small percentage of them were hooligans. They committed vandalism. You've seen their pictures again and again. But the overwhelming majority weren't. They were peaceful. They were orderly and meek. These were not insurrectionists. They were sightseers. Footage from inside the Capitol overturns the story you've heard about January 6th. Protesters queue up in neat little lines. They give each other tours outside the Speaker's office. They take cheerful selfies and they smile. They're not destroying the Capitol. They obviously revere the Capitol. They're there because they believe the election was stolen from them. They believe in the system. Here's the man you've heard referred to as the QAnon shaman outside the Senate chamber. These are not rioters. These are people who wandered over from a political rally.
We will not let them silence your voices.
After the rally, they walked down Pennsylvania Avenue, where organizers had secured a federal permit to hold a legal rally on the grounds of the Capitol.
I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard.
Once at the Capitol building, things began to get chaotic. Capitol police officers fired tear gas into the crowd. A few at the front of the herd broke windows. Someone opened the doors, and many hundreds of others just walked in.
They're going to make that the story.
Of course, they did make it the story. And at the center of it, the single most famous person arrested that day was a Navy veteran from Arizona called Jacob Chansley, often referred to as...
Okay, time to pause. So-called. We got the QAnon shaman, which is hilarious because the guy that we rent off of actually does work, and he calls himself the Q shaman, and he actually is a shaman. This QAnon shaman character that we're now bringing up into the story here obviously is the military, works with Austin Steinbart out of Arizona. We've been tracking and covering this nonsense. He's not a real shaman. He's a fake-ass poser, CIA crooked-ass agent. All these people involved in this were all PSYOP agents. This is the rights version. So like the 2000 mules where they actually set up the mules and fixed the election against themselves. Now what we have is the fake January 6th insurrection where they set up both sides, where the one side was supposedly pro-Trump, and then they had insurrectionists mixed in that were anti-Trump, that were causing this whole chaos here on January 6th. Now they're using it. Now, apparently, you're not allowed to say anymore that the election was fixed. Apparently, it's illegal for government agents and people like that to say it. But Tucker and the whole entire right now, they're swinging the narrative. This is a huge talking point for Trump and Team Trump. And it's being rolled out. And I can't even believe how retarded people on the internet are that actually think that Tucker Carlson gives a shit about any of us or the truth or freedom. Remember, he makes probably more than a six-figure salary from the New World Order, who owns all of the television channel stations, all the news stations, all the TV. It's all owned by the Rothschilds. If you think Tucker Carlson is out here for the goodness of truth and for you, I have a bridge for sale. But let's finish this.
Chansley, often referred to as the QAnon shaman.
The so-called QAnon shaman. QAnon shaman.
Someone named Q Shaman.
Jacob Chansley became the face of January 6th. A dangerous conspiracy theorist dressed in outlandish costume who led the violent insurrection to overthrow American democracy. For these crimes, Chansley was sentenced to nearly 4 years in prison, far more time than many violent criminals now receive. What did Jacob Chansley do to receive this punishment? To this day, there is dispute over how Chansley got into the Capitol building.
Dispute that he just walked in. All these people walked in. There's no dispute.
Our review of the internal surveillance video, it is very clear what happened once he got inside. Virtually every moment of his time inside the Capitol was caught on tape. The tapes show that Capitol Police never stopped Jacob Chansley. They helped him. They helped him. His tour guides. Here's video of Chansley in the Senate chamber. Capitol Police officers take him to multiple entrances.
It's so retarded how anyone can see this. He just walked in here and did a loop like this is all a photo shoot.
And even try to open locked doors for him. We counted at least 9 officers who were within touching distance of unarmed Jacob Chansley. Not one of them even tried to slow him down. Chansley understood that Capitol Police were his allies. Video shows him giving thanks for them in a prayer on the floor of the Senate. Watch.
Thank you, Heavenly Father, for giving the inspiration needed to these police officers to allow us in this building.
Contrast the reality of what Jacob Chansley did in the Capitol building on January 6th, the indisputable facts recorded on video, some of which has never before been seen, with the depiction of Jacob Chansley that you've seen in the media for more than 2 years. He's a terrorist, they said. He should be killed.
Shoot him.
Shoot him. He's a FBI, CIA, Mossad, whatever you want to call him, hoax-ass agent bitch.
Shoot him.
Don't shoot him.
You burst into the United
Listen to the shoot
If he
him.
was dressed like Bin Laden.
Kill him.
Shot him?
Yeah, Bin Laden.
Shoot him. It makes you wonder, who are the violent extremists here? Not Jacob Chansley. And the video proves that. But you would never have known from the media coverage.
Never.
People sitting in the chairs need to be sitting in a jail cell.
He's in a jail cell.
He's in a jail cell.
If he was in fact committing
Also suffering from male pattern baldness.
why didn't the officers who were standing right next to him place him under arrest? Until now, no one could even prove that even happened. But it did.
But it did. So that, if you haven't heard the crazy ass January 6th investigations coming out of Tucker Carlson, now you've heard the one side, and then we get this coming out of the government building. Right? We get Schumer here. Let's hear what Schumer has to say.
Millions of Americans tuned in to one of the most shameful hours we have ever seen.
So, I mean, what I want people to understand is now we got the Senate House giving a shout out to Fox News. So this is how the information spreads. So the people on the left that haven't seen it, they watch this Chuck Schumer thing. Now they're going to go and click on Fox News to watch Tucker, right? And then Tucker talks about Chuck Schumer and gets you guys to run back and forth. What they do is they have everybody chasing their tails in a circle. Everyone on the left, everyone on the right. You're all a bunch of retards chasing around a dangling carrot. There's nothing there. These are bitch-ass government that doesn't give a shit about us. Stupid-ass people on the news like Tucker Carlson, who cares about his vacation homes and his trips and his fancy cars and his fancy wines. These people, Chuck Schumer and Tucker Carlson, probably go out to dinner together at the same country club after this BS. But here we go. We got Chuck Schumer. He comes up next. Listen.
With contempt for the facts, disregard of the risks, and knowing full well he was lying to his audience. Fox News host Tucker Carlson ran a lengthy segment last night arguing the January 6th Capitol attack was not a violent insurrection. By diving deep into the waters of conspiracy and cherry-picking from thousands of hours of security footage, Mr. Carlson told the bold-faced lie that the Capitol attack, which we all saw with our own eyes, was somehow not an attack at all.
An attack. How can these clown shoes say that that was an attack? These people walked in between the rows and they followed the rules. They didn't break. It's got to be the stupidest propaganda I've ever seen, but yet here they are promoting the attack.
He tried to argue it was nothing more than a peaceful sightseeing tour. Can you imagine?
That's what it was, Chuck.
Violent demonstration. A perfectly fine and appropriate instance of people expressing their opinion. So many others who were here in the Capitol, and millions of Americans are just furious with Tucker Carlson and Kevin McCarthy today.
So if you guys want to know what the truth is behind why they ran the January 6th PSYOP, I'll tell you. It's simple. They want, what we have here is the Hegelian dialectic. What do the government and the people that are perpetrating these laws against us want? Protection. They should all be hanging from trees, right? They should all be hanging for trees for what they've done. But no, what they want to do is they want to have more protection so that real people can't actually come and go to this building. So they stage a fake attack, they plan the PSYOP, and they run it, and they infuse just PSYOP after PSYOP after PSYOP into the PSYOP itself. There's not just one, there's 10, maybe 100, maybe 1,000 PSYOPs in this one. But the ultimate goal is obvious. They've got new security. They've got walls around the buildings where they're at. They've got more security agents following all these cuck-ass agents. Tucker Carlson is one of them. Chuck Schumer is another one. They're all corrupt, fallen angel, demonic possessed people. And we're going to get into more of that, but let's keep moving. There's your January 6th insurrection update. Look at this. The same undercover FBI assets that are shown posing as conservatives at different events. Here we go. We got them at the Justice for January 6th rally in Charlottesville too. As you can see here, we got all these cuck-ass FBI, CIA, bitch-ass agents standing here, but here they are. You can see clearly it's the same people. They're pulling their hoaxes. These same dumbass clowns go around doing this same stupid shit, and then the people on the right agree, and then they fight back, and the people on the left are triggered, and then they fight back, and nobody actually gets to the truth. It is frustrating, but we got to report on it. Moving on from that one, now we got Israel's national cyber dictator says that Iran is apparently behind the cyber attack that happened over on Technion, right? It was Iran, right? Just blame Iran for everything. Now, it was you guys who did your own cyber stupid-ass terror attack. We know exactly what's going on there. Did you guys witness? Yes, we had the final astronomical winter full moon this year. It was called the Worm Moon. Have you seen it? Did you see it? Check it out. It was beautiful. It was so bright. I could not believe how bright it was. Check this out. The Worm Moon. Come on, where are you? There's the Worm Moon. It was bright. It was bright. It was really bright outside, almost like daytime. You guys didn't see it. It was a beautiful Worm Moon. And we're going to have another full moon again next month, right? So stay tuned. But this was the Worm Moon. This was the last one. Just thought we'd show you guys a little clip of it. I don't know if you saw it or missed it, but we definitely didn't miss it. So this was your Worm Moon. So that was a little bit of a bit of content that we went through. Let's have another song break. This one here is an eclectic pick of the week, and I'm going to see you after this. And this one was Radical Fantasy, bringing you their new one, Fire, with the Stranger Tourists edit. And we are back into the news. We got Musk coming out. Musk's new Twitter dream here. It says here, become the biggest financial institution in the world. This is what Musk is touting that he's going to become, right? You see here what they're going to try to turn Twitter into, right? He wants to turn it into the biggest financial institution in the realm. That's what Musk is saying here. Moving on, the EU, though, is attempting to force Musk to hire back the same people he got rid of when he bought Twitter in the name of, quote, moderating complex issues of hate speech. They're trying to bring back the censor so that they can censor more. Oh, they'll be back. And this is crazy. I don't know. I'm going to have to check with YD. I've never heard of this place. Have you guys ever heard of the 21 Club? Apparently it was a burger joint in New York. I don't know if they're serving up people in here, but as we can see here, it's super demonic looking. We've got Trump. It's red and white checkerboard. We've got these zoom in pictures when he dined there. Here's him opening up his plate. It says at the bottom, Trump was worried about revealing the full extent of his involvement in the delicate yet expensive subject. I'm dealing at a very high level on this, he said, when he was at the 21 Club. And as we can see here, there's flying, crashing planes all around him, interestingly enough to note. And we had this last picture here. They're symbolizing him with some kind of a dove rising. Trump is a bit like the ancient mariner here, they say at 21, a stranger at the feast. Will the dove of peace become his albatross, says this post. I don't know if you guys have seen this. I have no idea what the 21 Club is, but here was Trump in New York at this thing with the crashing planes and all the rest in the background. Is the Antichrist? I think so. We're going to find out soon enough. Moving on from that, Elon Musk drops Cheney and Kissinger and Schiff. Apparently, Elon Musk is coming out saying they're misleading Americans about the January 6th. And it's a beautiful thing, says Musk and fans. It's absolutely retarded psyop disinformation. Look at this tweet. Cheers to all my haters. Be patient. The best is yet to come. Hold the line. Get, you know what? Take all your things. Trust the plan. The warp speed is coming to save you. The Antichrist is going to make peace on the earth. We'll get more into that as we keep moving here. The greatest ripoff in American history, apparently, they're saying here. Democrats spent $100 billion of your money on climate hoax. Can you believe it? Yes, believe it. It's true. Moving on from that one, leaked Hillary Clinton emails reveal NATO killed Gaddafi, apparently to stop the formation of the United States of Africa. They were trying to make their own money, backed off gold, and they killed him, and it was disgusting what they did to him. They filmed it all, and everybody got to see the clips if you searched. Moving on from now, when we got the next meme news of the morning revealed in the U.S., apparently right now, an average of one chemical accident every 2 days now. Look at this. What is going on with all the chemical spills and train derailments and everything that's going on? I have a feeling it's leading up to something that Trump's going to use in his upcoming campaign. But yes, every 2 days there's a new one. Remember when you momentarily thought Vanguard was apparently abandoning ESG? We did cover this, the environmental social governance. Apparently, no, Vanguard isn't backing down. They are doubling down on it. They're going to push it ahead. They want the new ESG goals where they're going to track, trace, and do everything that they can to stop you from leaving your house. This is tied in with the 15-minute agendas. The CBDCs won't work if you don't have a good ESG score. And it is being brought to you by Vanguard and the Rothschilds and Rockefellers. Don't get that twisted. Moving on to the government psyops on social media. It says here, the based, quote, fact check social media censorship, the MSM parroting government propaganda, all conditioning the fear narrative. When we look here at this SAGE document, let's zoom in a little bit here. It says here, SAGE document on manipulating the public behavior. It says here, 2, use the media to increase sense of personal threat. 3, I don't know if you guys can see this. 3, use the media to increase sense of responsibility to others. You got to put the mask to save others, right? Number 4, use media to promote positive messaging around their agendas and actions. 6, use and promote social approval for desired behavior. So if you follow the New World Order, you get a shiny gold star on your head. Consider the use of social disapproval for failure to comply. So these are the things that the New World Order have been using their propaganda tools for. And it's not just on TV. The social media goes all throughout the internet. It's everywhere that you've got some kind of crooked ass person trying to make money. They're going to be paid to promote these here agendas. Moving on from that one. We got more. Prince Harry says that psychedelics are apparently, quote, fundamental part of his life. Yeah, that's exactly what's going wrong with your life. If you want to seek out spiritual awareness, you go within and you do it sober. You don't mask it. What do you think happens when you take psychedelics and you have an experience of spirituality? You get fooled, lied to, and tricked by demonic fallen angels. We're going to get into that too. Moving on from that one, Israeli protesters yelled out, "Where were you in Hawara?" Right? Apparently now the left is starting to come around and fight against the right and the right against the left, and everything is starting to bubble over and go crazy in Israel, and we're going to document it. I don't know how many other channels do, but we will. This is what they teach you in universities. It says here, you better write this down for your exams if you want the job in the corporations. When we zoom in on here, we got the Masonic chart of confusion. Right? They want you to believe that we evolved from a one-cell organism that swam out of the ocean, then evolved into grow legs, and then onto a monkey, into an ape, into a human being. And they've got all these BS, fake-ass Thoracic. We got Jurassic. And they've got no evidence of any of these dinosaurs ever existing. But yes, if you want to be popular, if you want to make money, you better promote the Masonic confusion chart. Tag and track, it says here, when you see a public figure, whether it be a celebrity or a politician, walking around with an walker brace, they have been interrogated, it says. This is a form of protection, as if they are spotted with an ankle monitor, it would disrupt ongoing investigations. If you see anybody wearing these stupid-ass ritual things, you got to understand, this has to do with them pledging their allegiance to the fallen angels and to the propaganda and to exactly what they're trying to promote. There's no, it's not, they're not ankle bracelet because QAnon is going to come save the day. All of that is just dis and misinformation, and there's going to be more covered on this moving forward into the future. Moving on from that one, we got Trump. This is on Newsmax. Trump outlines his big plans for the White House return. Let's go down and take a quick look at some of these. It says, we can't keep spending hundreds of billions of dollars protecting people that don't even like us, said Trump. He goes on to state, I have raised $440 billion from countries that weren't paying anything, right? Telling him. He said, I stand here today. This is the coming next president / Antichrist here. I am the only candidate who can make this promise. He says, I will prevent World War III very easily. Peace and security is what Donald Trump is touting here. End the scourge of homelessness in the nation's cities. That would be great to see. Fight for parents' rights when it comes to educating their children. So these are what the algorithm machine, big data, is spitting out as to what the American public actually wants. And this is what Trump says he's going to give them. Do you believe him? Moving on from that, Biden authorizes Fed to explore, yes, the CBDC digital currency. Coming to a town near you. Hopefully not. Burn it down. Look at this. Massive tanker crashes in Frederick, Maryland. Wow. This was back on March 5th.
This is fucking insane. This is insane.
Just everywhere. It's just crazy. Everything is burning. They're lighting everything on fire. We know they are. We're going to bring it to you and show you. Isn't it strange how 3J movie producers managed to predict the catastrophe in one of their movies 22 weeks and 3 days before something similar happens in the same place? Yes, we talked about White Noise and how that they were producing these movies, and they've got movies in the exact same crisis actors that had to move in the movie actually had to move in real life in Ohio. Check that out. We'll have more on the Ohio disaster and ways to clean it up in the meme section of the podcast here. It says Elon Musk promised a lot with the Tesla Semi, and here's how it stacks up. Well, if we look down here, apparently we've got some problems there. Elon Musk first announced in 2017 that the Semi was going to be built, and it now is the longest delayed product in the company's history. Moving on down here, there's a little bit more with this product. It says, to start, Pepsi is using the trucks to deliver Frito-Lay products, which is poisonous, from its Modesto, California facility, and it's 425 miles on a single charge, so it's almost delivering Pepsi out of Sacramento's warehouse. Apparently they're having huge problems due to the fact that their trucks can't last 425 miles in delivery charge. So they're trying to do something that the product can't even do. Moving on, we got crypto companies behind Tether used falsified documents and shell companies to get bank accounts. If you still have your money in Bitcoin, I strongly suggest you get as far away from the mark of the beast as possible. This is even crazier. The Jesus Revolution movie that's coming out apparently is about another Jesus, right? The name Jesus stands for Earth Pig. G means earth. Sus means pig, right? In Latin. Go ahead, back check it, prove me right. It says here the way for acceptance of what? LGBTQIA? Why are they adding more letters to this nonsense? It's crazy that they're even trying to push this because less than 7% of the population of the United States of America even identifies this. So if you do the percentages, you're going to find out that it's just all nothing but nonsense and satanic fallen angel propaganda. Moving on from this looks absolutely like a tree absorbed somebody, right? Check that out. How did it do that? Incredible. But it definitely does look like the tree absorbed somebody. This one says artificial intelligence is reaching behind newspaper paywalls in Canada. And check this out. It says here, there was big news in Canada last week, but if you were in Canada itself, you may have missed it. On February 22nd, it emerged that Google was blocking access to news content in a 5-week trial affecting about 4% of the users in the country. Yeah, I'm sure it's only 4. The measure comes as Canada's Senate considers a bill that would force big internet companies to pay publishers for displaying links to their stories. Google says it may simply block them instead. Canada's government says the search engine's actions to amount to intimidation. So be careful. You need to get what's called a VPN, and you could turn the VPN on into any country, and then you'll be able to get the news again. Get you a VPN so that you can see the news again. And here we go. Moving on. Do you know about Hancock and how he must go to jail? Look at this.
Just simple words there, reacting it. You're quite emotional about that.
Well, it's been such a tough year for so many people, and there's William Shakespeare putting it so simply for everybody.
It's a big joke.
We can get on with our lives, and there's still a few months to go. I've still got this worry that we can't blow it now, Piers. We've still got to get the vaccine to millions of people, and so we've got to keep sticking by the rules. But it's just, there's so much work gone into this, and I'm really, it makes you proud to be British. It's been such a tough year for so many people, and there's William Shakespeare putting it so simply.
Can't stop laughing, this guy.
We can get on with our lives.
Just simple words there, reacting it. You're quite emotional about that.
Well, it's been such a tough year for so many people, and
as you can see here, there's not much more I have to say about that clip. Check this out. Apparently, wherever this is, the earth, something is coming out of it. Look out! Get away from the dirt. What the heck is that? Moving on from that one. It says here, who's India's national security advisor and why did Putin decide to meet with him one-on-one? I'll leave that up for you to think about. This one says, happening now, fighting 5-alarm huge fire that has engulfed the Grand Food Concourse in Bronx, New York. This was on the 5th of March as well.
The beings that we think we are.
Tons and tons and tons of things are just burning down. Everything's on fire, and we're going to cover it on the Rise and Grind morning show. Current research, apparently the Rothschild-Khazarian Mafia plan on destroying people of the 3 main religions, right? They want to take you out unless you go into their Noahide laws. We got Benny Netanyahu, we got Albert Barula, and we've got Yuval Noah Harari. The 3 most evil, wicked men that you could possibly find in the realm right now. And yes, they all wear tiny hats. Moving on from that one, we got breaking, 1 dead and 3 injured following an undisclosed hazmat situation in New York City. I don't know what they're going to turn this into, but it could be the big thing that's storming across the nation, right? They had the hazmat set up and apparently people died. I wonder if people were collapsing. We don't know exactly what took place in there. Moving on from that, we got another construction site burns, huge plumes of smoke, massive police response. This is happening in Atlanta, and this was back also on the 5th, right? Are they just lighting shit on fire and filming it? I don't know. They might be. That might be what they're doing. Background music is a little hot. Apparently, nearly 80% of voters want American companies out of politics. How about 100 people? 100% of the people want politics out of the education system, right? Why are they promoting this nonsense in the government and in the schools? Because it's a divisionary tactic. All they want to do is divide and conquer. And it's through programming your mind. It says here, I could watch this all day. Look at these dogs playing this game with the balloon. Jumped a little early, boy. Oh, that one got it. That one got it. Boom. Boom. Keep it up. Boom. It is pretty fun to watch. I gotta admit, I like watching it. Boom. Oh, the simple joys and pleasures of reality, huh? Have you guys seen more amazing Borealis, Aurora Borealis, taking place in the realm? It is just beautiful. We've been watching it.
At nature happening out there, you're looking at you.
It's beautiful. Look at the colors. Watch as they stream around. Look at that. So there's two angels that guard the passageway into Eden, and they both have flaming swords, and you're looking at them. These are their flaming swords right here. Right? It's obvious to see. All you got to do is look. Look at that. So beautiful. We got to keep moving, though. We got lots to cover. We're still not done. It says here, train derailment by malice. I wonder. Moves on here. Trains derail all the time. Young athletes have always died suddenly, and vinyl chloride is perfectly safe, says the mainstream media. Here we go. More beautiful three-dimensional turning to two-dimensional art turning to three-dimensional. Check this out. Sent in from the Estonian magical producer. I like this clip. Check this out, you guys. Whoa. It's 3D now, right? 2D images called create 3D images, like the way that Jason is able to make on Awake Souls. Take two-dimensional pictures of a moon, and then when inside of a 3D modeling program, the moon then becomes three-dimensional, right? So you can make 2D things look 3D. That's what we have in our skies, right? The sun, the moon, and all the stars. They're two-dimensional objects that look three-dimensional, right? There's more to what we're showing here than meets the eye. Thank you for tuning in. The time is now 7:58 a.m. in the Central Standard Time. If you're late, get up! It's time to go, and leave your keys hanging at the door so you always know where they are, so you can take your time and drive to work and listen to the Rise and Grind. Don't watch it. Pay attention to the road, please, and always be safe. But yes, another beautiful two-dimensional object looking three-dimensional when animated. New scientific evidence suggests temperatures have been stable in Greenland for 60 years, save for one sudden jump in 1994 of 1 degree. How about that, New World Order? Take that, Greta. Apparently here, look at this, though. If you guys haven't seen what's taken place in Nevada, Tahoe, they have had a lot of snow. Just so much snow. Look at all this. It's crazy. They've got walls, just like there's your ice wall, flat earthers, right there, being Nevada. Crazy conditions. I don't know if it's still snowing there. It's about to snow there again. I think they've had like 30 feet of snow. I don't know. I don't feel bad for all y'all Canuckistanians. I guess you're now called Chinadians. I don't feel bad for you guys, eh? Canada, eh? Like Turkey, eh? This is crazy. It is super snowing up there. So much for global warming. Watching what's happening in Atlanta now, apparently these days, makes this person think that there's a civil war taking place, because Atlanta's on fire. Trains are crashing, stuff is piling up. It's just insane what's going on, and we're reporting on it. The Rockefellers Alliance with they call it Judeo-British London bankers. This is just a quick look at how we got to where we are here. It says, once the Rockefeller monopolies and wealth was secured, the Jewish banking firm Con Loeb, headed by Rothschild minion Jacob Schiff, acted as the leading investment house for John D. Rockefeller through the guidance of his investment of Frederick T. Gates. It says here, quote, my research indicates that the son is likely the William Henry Gates, who went west in 1888, who would be Bill Gates' great-grandfather, and which would actually make Frederick Gates and Bill Gates cousins. So we've got Bill Gates, Frederick Gates, John D. Rockefeller, and the Rothschild family starting monopolies around the realm here, establishing the monopolistic foundations, it says. They were a pair of Yale Secret Society skull and bone operators, Daniel Coit Gilman and his sidekick Andrew Dickinson White. Gilman had incorporated the Peabody Fund and the John Salter Fund and became an incorporator of the General Education Board, now apparently called the Rockefeller Foundation. This is how they got all the dismiss, mal, and information into the public. If you don't know about who the Rockefellers are, and if you didn't know about who Bill Gates' grandfather is, Frederick Gates, now you do, and they colluded together to set up all the monopolies. Go figure they're using Bill Gates now to do their psyops. It's because he's getting it from his grandpa, and these people all have an alliance to each other. They're fallen angels, and they swore oaths to each other. Have you seen how gold is made? We have a goldsmith on the team, go figure, right? And he's very talented at what he does. Apparently the most beautiful gold is rose gold, but check this out. Beautiful. I think it's beautiful. I don't have any gold. Maybe one day I will, but not in this life. Not now. I want the content in my heart to be my gold. If I was in Estonia, maybe I would get some gold made by our goldsmith on the team. But for now, I'm just gonna stay no gold. But it's beautiful. Look at this. This is insane. Such a shiny, precious metal, huh? We get mountains of this stuff in the kingdom, right? You guys understand? We're gonna have mountains of gold, mountains of silver. But this is how it's done. It's amazing. Slicing it, folding it, cleaning it, polishing it. Press, there's a press. Stamping it out into its little bars. And then they put the unstamped stuff back into the molds. And you can buy these, right? Then you're rich. I mean, you can trade it or something, turn it into bullets. This is how they do gold. Then they weigh them out to make sure they're pure. I don't know what that scratching process is doing right there. Taking a burr off the edge. Washing it. Oh, okay. The ball bearing sand. Is that how they sand it? Okay. I got lots to learn. But I want to learn. Here's how the gold bars are getting all shined up. They're getting all dried. Check that out. And then obviously they're going to stamp them, right? Here's your stamp. Puts it into the press. What are they going to put on it? Put some Asian writing on there. Some pictographic characters. 3M helped make that product there. That tape goes on the outside of the die. That's it. That's how they make you your gold bars. Check that out. Thanks for that link. That was cool. You were programmed to believe in you-know-whats. These words. If you don't know, they use the TV and the news and the movies and the people online that call themselves, truthers and conspiracy theorists to promote the ultimate things that they want. They put it in the movies. They program you through subliminal messages and programs to fear zombies and viruses. It's been something that they've been doing for many years. It's no doubt. Here we go now. Norfolk Southern employee was killed after a train derailed and hit a dump truck. And this was in Cleveland. And this was on the 7th of March. Like we said, around every 2 days, there's a chemical thing. Now, we did have that New Ager saying there was going to be constant problems with planes. And we've got more links. Next week, we're going to start showing you she was right. Tons of things are happening. 2 planes have collided and crashed into a lake. This was in Florida. Keeping going after that one. We're almost done the news segment. We got a special segment next. Here's another derailment. This one's crazy. Check this out. Let me zoom in. These people were actually there. They filmed it. All of a sudden right here, there it goes. The train just falls off the tracks. Boom, boom, boom. This is bad. I don't know what's going on with you guys, but trains are derailing. Where was this one? This was also in Ohio. Moving on from that one. Crews responding to another train derailment. This one's in Summers County. There's so many of these. We could just keep going on. And apparently the key Trump impeachment witness was busted for dealing lucrative defense contracts in the Ukraine. Go figure. Like they're not going to use people on the investigation team that are easily discreditable when they're setting Trump up to be the next great savior of the realm. Right? Come on, give your head a shake if you think that's real. Fully jabolid Australians are dying at levels not seen for 80 years, and just like everything else, dumbass doctors and scientists are baffled. Moving on from that one, 9/11 Commission member ID'd as person killed when they say her business jet hit turbulence. So it went like this, and she died. and apparently she was on the 9/11 investigation team. What was her name? Hyde. Dr. Donna J. Hyde. I hope they didn't take you out for speaking the truth, Donna. We're going to share your story. Moving on from that one, scientists have revealed, oh no, you're not going to believe this. Scientists have revealed that they've unearthed a zombie virus that spent 48,500 years in frozen permafrost when the Earth can only be dated back to roughly 6,000 years old. But they think this virus came from 50,000 years ago. You got to smoke crack with Hunter Biden to get the truth on that one. Another train derailment, this one in Norfolk. This one happened on the 9th of March. This guy's just chilling out here on the tracks. Yeah, we crashed it, boss. I'm just standing here. The guy's filming me right now. All the other people looking busy. Ah, there it is. They got some symbology, some numbers. Damn, trains just falling off the tracks everywhere here in 2023. Last one before we get into another song break. Exclusive, BlackRock fast tracks the ESG violators from multi-linked ETFs. So BlackRock and Vanguard are pushing ahead the ESGs, the CBDCs, and the total takeover of all our freedoms and rights and the 15-minute cities. They don't want us to travel to the forest anymore. You got to walk to the grocery store at the end of your street, get your there, and go back home. That's all they want. Let's do another song, and I'm going to see you back after this.
Wish I was more Venus in the morning, but I need 2 coffees hard. I'm in a black hole. Are we just bodies controlled from outer space? Is it in the stars that I'd smile when I see your face? Tell me, girl, is this all just physical? Tell me, girl, I need to know. We're gonna make this mystical, mystical, mystical. Tell me, girl, is it our orbit that's making us dizzy now, dizzy now? I wanna know how this gravity is making our bodies attract right now. It's Mercury retrograde again. Maybe we'll fall apart again if we're not prepared to spend time apart working on our art. Come back stronger next time. Are we just bodies controlled from outer space? Is it in the stars that I smile when I see your face? Tell me, girl, is this all just physical? Tell me, girl, I need to know. We're gonna make this mystical, mystical, mystical. Tell me, girl, is it our orbit that's making us dizzy now, dizzy now? I wanna know how this gravity is making our bodies attract right now. Around the universe we go, we stop and play, we're not busy trying. Pushing apart, attracting back with all these cosmic strings that we're tying. Searching for some meaning we can cling to tightly. Angels only fly because they take themselves so lightly. Around the universe we go, we only notice we're not busy trying to dive in. Tell me, girl, is this all just physical? Tell me, girl, I need to know. We're gonna make this mystical, mystical, mystical. Tell me, girl, is
that new one is New Portals with their new hot one, Physical. Let's get back into this. We've got the most important section of the morning right now. What do you know? What do you know on the other side of the screen about the untold truth of the fallen angels? Let me make sure the background music isn't too loud. Turn it down just a little bit. Let's get into this. The untold truth of the fallen angels. Let's scroll down here. What makes a fallen angel? Well, I guess because they're fallen. They're not heavenly beings anymore. They're stuck here in the earthly realm. It says here, where most of our knowledge of fallen angels actually comes from. We scroll down. How do we know all this? A lot of our knowledge actually of the fallen angels comes from the book of Enoch. They give a wrong date here for it's written 350 years before BC. It was a lot further back than that, but we're not going to get into that right now. Lust destroyed, it says, lust destroyed the angels of the book of Enoch, right? According to the Gnostic Society Library, the book of Enoch tells a tale of angels who are destroyed by lust. The story also shows up in Genesis, but in less detail. Before the Great Flood, angels and humans met and mingled pretty commonly, and the inevitable happened. They had children, and those children were the sons of daughters of the 200 angels that fell, and they were a race of, yes, they're guessing to be 450 tall, maybe 20 feet tall, 15 feet tall. We could go on and about this ideas of how tall they were, but they were giants. The angels started teaching their giant offspring evil ways, and Yahawah not only imprisoned them for it, but subjected them to the judgment, right? And sent the flood to hit the reset button on the creation. So what ended up happening was Yahawah flooded the earth, killed everything except for 8, and he told the fallen angels that you're going to see the destruction of your children. You have disobeyed me. They broke the rules. Whatever it is that they were commanded not to do, they did it. And it was over lust. Keep in mind, this was over lust. I want people to fully understand. So, the first of all the fallen angels, right? Let's get into this. According to the book of Enoch, each one of the first of the fallen angels was responsible for teaching mankind something that led them to sin. Take Asbiel. He is one who gave the evilest of counsels, or they call him the holy sons of Yahawah, and introduced them to wonders and basest evil. So that came up with hooking up with women. Kiazdaja was one who brought mankind knowledge about spirits and demons, and who showed them the smitings of the embryo in the womb, and the smitings which befall thou the noontide heat. Right? The creation of the race of giants, or half angels, half humans, was said to have been the work of one angel in particular. And the leader of the fallen angels, well, we're going to subject that to a bit of questioning in a second. We've got Simiazaz. Other sources cite his name as being Simiazaz, but he was the one that led to the ultimate imprisonment, right? Simiazaz was the one who led to the imprisonment of the fallen angels at the end of the world with the first flood. The Book of the Giants tells the story of some of his children, like Ohia and Hiaya, but sadly, much of the manuscript has been lost. They completely deleted that because they don't want you to know exactly what that's all about. So we've got Simiazaz, we've got Azazel, and now we have Godriel. Okay, the name is pronounced Godriel, not Godriel. It's God, like we get today with the word God. This is where it comes from. Godriel. So there's one fallen angel in particular that warrants talking about on his own, and that's Godriel. According to the book of Enoch, Godriel was responsible for a lot of trouble in his own, and he was, the most might recognize his name, because you're going to understand he was the one who was cited for enticing Eve with the forbidden fruit. So Godriel was the one who went to Eve. Let's get this right. It wasn't an apple. They were in fig trees, right? And what he did was he disguised himself to look like Eve. Okay, he became beautiful and comely like a woman with her own voice and her own image. Right? It wasn't a snake. He didn't look like a snake. He looked like a woman. And he used this to confuse Eve and trick her into eating the fruit. That was one of the fallen angels. Moving on, who was the leader of the 200 fallen angels? Was it Azazel or Simiazaz? Let's go down here to read a little bit. Let me zoom in a little. It says here, although 200 were believed to be those fallen angels, and the number 200 may be mistaken for 200,000, for the sake of logic, however, one should stand for the principle that it's accurate to read the book. It's accurate to read the books, and they imply that there were 200. These fallen angels, whether in their thousands, hundreds, were given a leader, just like any army or party has its rulers. Instead, the obvious question is, who exactly is the chief of these angels? Beyond the pre-flood period, Azazel who is greatly mentioned and identified as very powerful, or Simiazaz, who is ranked high in the Watcher's hierarchy. It says here, the obvious response when faced with a question such as this may be the one that indicates or includes the most powerful of these angels. So your thoughts instantly go to the captain or the general of their army, or even colonel. When asked who is the most important man in the army, it actually makes a lot of sense to believe that that is the highest ranking man and it is the most powerful one, right? That's just obvious common sense. So Azazel is given more emphasis in the Hebrew text than Simiazaz, which may lead one to believe that during the pre-flood period, he was the leader of the 200 fallen angels, right? Although it was stated in the book of Enoch that there was only 20 leaders over the 200, Azazel was said to be one of the 20, or the leader of the fallen angels, right? So we understand that Azazel was the leader of the fallen angels. They were condemned. What they did was they made a pact to come down to earth and to marry women and take women and have children and create, they wanted to game the simulation. They wanted to game the realm. They knew the secrets and they knew how to game it. So here's a larger list of the fallen angels. So Abaddon, we know who that is, right? It means to destroy. I'm not going to read all of these, but as you can see here, if you want to slow down and read them yourselves, you can. Azazel, the fallen angel whose names means Yahawah strengthens. We got Beelzebub, right? Prince of demons. So in the underworld, Beelzebub is the one that Azazel goes to when he wants to talk about what's taking place in the underworld. Beelzebub is the leader of the underworld. Then we have Godriel, again, who we just brought up, was the one who tempted Eve. Fallen angel whose name means, Yahawah is his helper. So they were sons of Yahawah. They were highly made angels that fell. And then they're trapped. They're imprisoned now. And their children are still here as disembodied Nephilim spirits, causing nothing but havoc in the realm. Simiazaz is the fallen angel leader and also one of the sons of Yahawah. So that is the list of the 200 of them. We had the 20 leaders and we showed you who the leaders were. That's Azazel, Simiazaz, Beelzebub, and Godriel are the main leaders. So we got to look more into this. So where did they fall? They met on Mount Hermon. And that Mount Hermon translates to the hidden place, forbidden place. Moses first wrote about this. The sons of Yahawah saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they could. And they were giants in the earth in those days, and after that, when the sons of Yahawah came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare unto them children, and they became mighty men, were of old, and men of renown. So Moses was given us an account, and then we look back again to Enoch, and it says here from the quote from Enoch, and it came to pass, after the children of men had increased in those days, beautiful and comely daughters were born unto them. And the angels and the sons of the heavens saw and lusted after them, and said to one another, Behold, we will choose for ourselves wives from among the children of men, and we will beget for ourselves children. And they descended upon Eridas, which is the summit of Mount Hermon, and they called it Mount Hermon because they had sworn an oath and bound themselves mutually by a curse. And you can find that in the book of Enoch, chapter 6 through 1, verse 6. Okay, so they came down, and here it is. So a lot of people want to talk about, the scriptures are made up by the tiny head, this and that, all this nonsense. That's true. This is all true. They took this book out because it shows exactly why we are where we are and where we're headed. This is not a fairy tale that you read in some Russian book that told you 30,000 years ago. This is actual, real, living proof. This here is the Mount Hermon. It's a real mountain that you can go to, exactly where it should be, exactly how it's prophesied and said to be taking place. Here's the mountain. It's got 3 distinct peaks that you can see. This is Mount Hermon. It's an actual place. This isn't a fairy tale. This did take place. It's true. All this is real. What is the significance of Mount Hermon in the scriptures? It says here, Mount Hermon, or Sacred Mountain, is the highest mountain in ancient Israel. Go figure. Boasting majestic, snow-scaped peaks rising just above 9,000 feet. Right above sea level. Mount Hermon may have been the site of Christ's transfiguration as well. Christ did happen to go by there, just in case you were wondering. Mount Hermon, like I said, this is a real place here. As you can see here, elevation 2,814 meters. It says prominence 1,804. It shows where it is. It was in the northern region of Israel, right? So this is an actual real place. This isn't some fairy tale or some stupid ass Freemasonic nonsense book. Moving on to that, we're going to get into the modern day fallen angel pact. So 32 Masonic symbols and what they mean. Did you know about this? Why is this not on my screen correctly? Let's see here. I'll make sure we get this on the screen. So here we go. What do you know about the Freemasons? Let's look at it. We got table of contents, acacia, all-seeing eye, square and compass, letter G, cable tone, Masonic blazing. Let's get into this nonsense. Acacia, one of the signs of the Freemasons. We Masons describing the deplorable estate of religion under Jewish law speak in figures. Achaia being the Greek word for innocence or being free from sin, implying that sins and corruption is the old law. So they're now under some new law of Freemasonry that they've swore a death oath to, okay? Here we go. This be the all-seeing eye of Freemasonry, right? The also known as the eye of providence. So they're saying here that this all-seeing eye means Yahawah is observing all deeds, actions, and human thoughts. The symbol first appeared as a Masonic icon in 1797. So last week we had a post on the tweets that somebody had suggested that Christ and Paul or Peter were cross-dressing. The Freemasons weren't even around. Okay, they didn't even have their fellowship until the mid-1700s. Square and compasses. What does these mean, right? The square and compass combined to serve as a reminder to Freemasons to explore personal desires and passions while maintaining morality. Right? Some Masons say it refers to God. Right? God real. Remember, God real is the short. God is the short form name for God real, the supreme being that they're worshiping. Others articulate it to meaning geometry, right? Which they don't know how to do. G had a similar numeric value of 3 in history. The number 3 was used. So when you have the G, you get the 3, and you have 2 Gs, you got 33, which is the Freemason degrees. Cable tow. In Freemasonry, the cable tow is a visible symbol of a person's pledge or their oath to the craft. It says in the scriptures, thou shalt swear no oaths under heaven or earth. I've never sworn an oath, nor will I be in any of these stupid-ass secret societies. The cable tow can be related to the cord that unites a mother and their child during birth. That's what they're saying here. We got the Masonic blazing star making the note in this list here. The Masonic blazing star, as you can see here, said to represent the peak of a person's Masonic journey. Its symbolism in the craft has more than one meaning. We're not going to get into all these different meanings. We got the Masonic gavel. They want to bang shit. They got the Masonic gavel. It has 2 distinctive meanings. In Stonemasons era, which they absolutely, that's one other thing. None of these stupid ass Freemasons even know how to do stonemasonry. Makes me laugh. You got a bunch of fucking joke ass clowns running around with mason hammers made out of wood that you can't even craft stone with. It says here the Masonic gavel has 2 distinct meanings. In Stonemasons era, a gavel was used to shaping stones. Yeah, in the Stonemason era. Now they don't build anything because they're a bunch of crooked-ass, corrupt people that make deals in back rooms and swear oaths so that they can have a better life. They don't know how to work with their hands. In Freemasonry, it serves as a speculative reminder to members to remain morally pure and separate themselves from societal vices. Yeah, okay, good luck on that one. How about the Masonic lambskin apron? In Freemasonry, the white Masonic lambskin apron is worn to prevent clothes from staining. What are their clothes going to stain from? What are they doing in these rituals where they need to cover their clothes from being stained? And why would they choose something white if they're trying to hide stains? That seems retarded to me. Moving on, they've got the Ark of the Covenant. Freemasonry, meaning of the Ark of the Covenant, is derived, so they're now quoting biblical things, right? It is a universal symbol in the fraternity featured in numerous artworks. The Ark represents Yahawah's unending forgiveness to human sins. There's judgments coming for human sins. It's not unending. There's a penalty that has to be paid. And it's going to be paid. We got the Masonic shoe. Do you know about the blue Masonic shoe? Now you do. It says here, the Masonic shoe is also known as the blue slipper. So these stupid ass, not knowing how to do stonemasonry masons aren't free, living under a slave oath that they've swore to. Here they are throwing around blue ass fairy slippers, right? The name blue slipper ascertains the value the color blue holds in Freemasonry. They got to worship the color blue. In the olden days, removing a shoe and handing it to someone was also a way of validating a contract. So I'm going to hire you. Here's my shoe. It sounds retarded to me. They got a beehive here. A beehive consists of a group of insects tirelessly working together to achieve a common goal, to enslave humanity, to game the system for the fallen angels' descendants. Similarly, the beehive in Freemasonry represents the importance of Masons coming together and mobilizing in all efforts to bring you the you-know-whats, the cervezas, everything. All of this stuff has been run and pushed. All of your Tucker Carlson versus Donald J. Trump versus the January, all of this is Freemasonic nonsense BS. They've got coffins in their Freemasonic order. It's apparently a symbolization of death and the Mason's previous life, which is necessary before a person starts engaging in the Masonic duties. You got to die. They want you to get inside of this here coffin and do some crazy ass shit. In the Skull and Bone Society, when they get into the coffins, they pee on each other. Men, that's what they do. I'm just telling you guys, they got a Masonic sheaf of corn here, right? In Freemasonry, the sheaf of corn symbolizes the benefits of our sweat and rewards. Or they don't sweat. What do you guys even do? The 47th problem of Euclid has got to be one of the stupidest things that Jason debunked. The mathematical representation of the symbol is in the ratio 345. So apparently you can square a square. I'm a construction guy. I'm not a lying ass Freemason. I actually build stuff. 345 works. You can double it, and if you want to find a square, you can go 6, 8, 10, and you can continue to double it. But there's a problem with your 345 Euclid equation. When you try to reduce it by halves, it then doesn't subdivide correctly, and it becomes an error. It's an error. All it is an error. We've got the Masonic pavement. Notice here that they keep it aligned north, east, south, and west, and on their Masonic square, you definitely see 4 corners to their representation of reality.
At nature happening out there, you're looking at you.
So they take truths and they hide them and they put them into the plain sight. We got a trestle board. We're not going to get into too much more. They've got the two-headed eagle. Have you seen this? I'm sure you guys have seen the stupid-ass two-headed eagle everywhere. They put it on everything. It says here, it was first used in Freemasonry as a symbol in 1759. Like I had said before, Freemasonry came about in the mid-1700s. And at that time, it delineated 2 bodies merging into one. So again, we're taking mystical Kabbalism, right? The Baphomet character is the female and the male merged into one. When you should truly understand the yin and yang is our spiritual nature inside of us. We don't have to become, I don't need to have boobs to be 2 in 1. I have to be gentle and soft in my heart, yet still fierce and strong and powerful as a man at the same time. That is how you do this. You don't need to get Sean Hufford, big, huge triple D implant boobs to become this 2-headed Masonic mixed together nonsense. We got the Masonic pillars, if you don't know about those. Boaz was the left-handed pillar, which meant in him is strength, and the right hand is Yakim or Joachim, and it apparently means he establishes. In Freemasonry, the 2 pillars symbolizes the opposite pairs. So this is retarded. Wilmhurst goes on to describe opposites. Good and evil, light and darkness, active and passive, positive and negative, and yes and no, outside and inside, man and woman. None of these are opposites. This is retarded. These people are retarded. They followed fabled tales and lies from fallen angels. Good and evil is not an opposite. It's a gradient. You have good at the top being all good, which is Christ, the Son of the Creator, and you have Azazel at the bottom, which is all evil and all darkness. It's not an opposite. Light and darkness is not opposites. Darkness is without light. That makes the only. What is the opposite of light? It would be non-light. There's no such thing. Not darkness. Darkness is the absence of light. Active and passive are 2 movements. They're not opposites, positive and negative. You have a scale again at the top, positive, negative on the bottom. It's a gradient. Yes or no, those are choices. They're not opposites. Outside and inside are not opposites. They're not. Man and woman are 2 different genders. They're not opposites. Okay? We are one. We are both human beings. They got the moon. During the 18th century, some lodges met during full moon nights. Go figure, right? They want to take the full moon and use it to their advantage to do wicked shit. That's what these fallen angel demons taught their children, who then became disembodied Nephilim spirits, who now imbibe and they are possessed into these people that do these rituals. It's plain and simple to know exactly why we got where we are. The moon's symbolic nature is used as a reminder of rituals, alchemical rebirth, and the Newtonian training in Freemasonry. Its symbolism, however, leans more towards alchemical rebirth. Alchemy refers to the process of purifying substances. We got the Masonic trowel, which these clown shoes don't even know how to use. They don't have any blisters or any cuts on their hands. They don't even know how to build anything. All they can do is work together with their stupid ass oaths. Freemasons use a trowel as a symbol of master workmen. They don't even know how to use the trowel. Similar to construction, the trowel is symbolically used to spread brotherly love within the craft. That's what it means. It doesn't mean actually build anything. It means go ahead and make sure that you take care of your brother in your sworn oath society. King Solomon's temple, they love to take the stuff from the scriptures. Freemasonry traces its origin, here we go, back to the Temple of Solomon. The legend of the craft speculate that Solomon initially created the stupid-ass fraternity. It's just all nonsense. It's all lies and dis and misinformation. It was the fallen angels that started the oath that the Freemasons are continuing now. We've got the Masonic hourglass. The hourglass indicates that time is moving forward and nothing can be done to reverse the movement of time, right? We got the Sith, right? The sickle. We've got, in Freemasonry, it says here, the Sith, or the sickle, is an emblem of time in the destruction of humankind's institutions. It symbolizes the end of our time on Earth. You guys are very close to your end. I'm sorry to say it. If you don't change your ways and come out and expose all this, you are going to be destroyed. Here it says the level. Now we got the Freemasons talking about the flat, level Earth with their four-cornered, square, or rectangular-shaped map realm, right? I just want to point that out. The jewels of the lodge are the 3 movable and the 3 immovable, they say. The three movable jewels are the square, the level, and the plumb, which they don't know how to use. Among operative Masons, the level is to lay levels and to prove horizontals. Among free and accepted Masons, the level equality. The Masonic keystone, they got one of those, right? They got the point within a circle, which is this is the Mason. They're the point within the circle, apparently. The broken column. The Masonic pencil. Interestingly enough, they've got this witchcraft pencil here with their Eastern Star tied to it, the pentagon looking thing. It says here, today it's speculative. Masons do not draw a symbolic meaning to the tool. They don't know what that one means. The number 7, not to get away from it. They love 7. How about Aleister Crowley with his 777 laws, right? 7 is linked to Pythagoras, the faggot vegetarian Pythagoras that was a mystic Kabbalist that helped form and bring you the Freemasonic fallen angel cult. So now we've gotten ourselves quite acquainted with the fallen angels, and you know exactly what they do. This is their craft. This is their secret society sworn oath that started at Mount Hermon. We can go on to continue to show you a little bit more of what they do. In 1986, the American Medical Association published an article titled The Physical Death of Christ. So who do you think wanted him dead? It was the fallen angels and their kids. It says here in Luke, before Christ was arrested, it is written that he was in such distress that he was actually sweating blood. And this is actually a common thing, not a common thing, but it is real. It's called hemiatordiasis, right? So when we actually do bleed due to stress. At the time, the crucifixion was considered the worst death for the worst of criminals. But this is not all that Christ faced. He endured whipping so severe that it tore his flesh from his body. He was beaten so horrific that his face was torn and his beard was ripped. A crown of thorns from up to 2 to 3 inches long cut deeply into his scalp. A leather whip was used to flog him that also had tiny iron balls and sharp bones. The balls caused internal injuries while the sharp bones ripped open his flesh. His skeletal muscles, veins, and bowels were exposed. Okay, this is what the fallen angels did to the Son of the Living Father. They hated him. They hated Adam first. They hated him more, and they hate us just as much. You need to understand that this is where all this came from. This is why we are exactly where we are. This is the group, and this is what they've done. And now we've got the Freemasonic satanic emblems and stuff like that mixed into the military. Right? The Army, the Navy, the Air Force all have upside-down pentagraphic, Baphomet, satanic, Freemasonic, fallen angel iconography and all their nonsense. Medal of Honor for heroes in Iraq and Afghanistan. Thank you for helping bring us all of the heroin. Freemasons and fallen angels, who can be attributed to the cutting of roots and all the other things that the fallen angels have taught. Here we go. Freemasonic satanic symbolum BS everywhere. This is in New York, as we can see it here on the NASDAQ billboard. We got Discover Freemasonry, right? Join the club. That's what they want you to do. They put it everywhere here. Here we got crooked ass Republican Laura Loomer, right? And if you don't know who she's with, I'm going to leave that up to you. But this is what the fallen angels do. This guy works for Rick Wiles now, right? If you haven't known, Milo Yiannopoulos in a ritualistic bathtub filled with blood. And here's Laura Loomer. She just thinks it's great. These are demons. These are demons. Moving on from that, more evidence that we're in a spiritual battle. This is a hotel here in Austin, right? In a tiny town of Plano. Check this out. Look at all this stuff going on. What are they doing in this hotel? If you want to go stay in this hotel, I've got something for you next. Something that's going to be coming for all these people. This is what they want. Imagine somebody wanting to go stay. Who wants to stay in this hotel? What is wrong with you? Something is seriously wrong if you think you want to stay in this hotel. Moving on. Here's the last thing. I'm going to stop the background music. I want everybody to hear this. This is what awaits, okay? This right here is the lake of fire bubbling up into the earth. Here, let me turn that up so you can hear it. I personally have requested to throw every person into this that has harmed innocent children, that has harmed the realm, all of the fallen angels. They're going to be brought out and they're going to be thrown into this from their punishment. The lake of fire awaits. It awaits. It awaits. There's not too much more that I have to say on this matter.
Into the future. Don't think you're having a say so. Running backwards into the future. Don't think you're getting to let go. I go door to door and trick or treat it. Whatever dust remains, I'll vacuum clean it. Whatever I can get to kill time. There's a question mark on my horizon. And there's a burning man in my reflection. Backwards into the future. Don't think you're having a say so. Running backwards into the future. Don't think you're getting to let go. Running backwards into the future. What goes around comes around. What's lost won't be found. Into the future. Don't think you're having a say so. Running backwards into the Running backwards into the
We are running backwards into the future. D-Stat with this brand new one. And we are back. I want to make sure everything's good on the screen. Everything is good on the screen. Thank you for tuning in. Today is Friday, March 10th. The time is now 8:40 a.m. in the Central Standard Time. And we have got some stuff for you guys today. I don't see my background music. 1 second. Let me get something here fixed. And we should be good to go. Let's move on with this next section of the morning podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Again, it's 8:41 a.m. Friday, March 10th. We're headed towards spring, everybody. We're headed towards spring. Let's look at this. There are two ways to be fooled, okay? One is to believe what isn't true, right? And the other is to refuse to believe what is true. So it's on you to figure it out. Are you being fooled or are you believing what is a lie? Right? I'll leave that up for you. Next meme of the morning. Yes, we've got some memes here. It says, how did people in Noah's day respond to the warning of Yahawah's coming judgment? Same way they're responding today. They're absolutely thinking it's a joke, and until the fire starts raining down from heaven, they're probably going to be laughing. Transhumanism is a very interesting, important topic here. It says transhumanism is the Antichrist path. It is the inversion and mockery of our natural spiritual abilities by trying to merge them with, yes, technology. Right? Instead of becoming and understanding who you are on the inside. And I don't know what's going on with this. I've changed moves here. What you need to understand is they're trying to create a way to live forever without using Yahawah, right? Their own eternity, which is going to be a lake of fire. This one says here, we got politicians on the bottom. We got the Masons in the middle. And yes, the Jesuits standing above all of them with their nonsense, mal, and information, right? Ukrainian soldier bingo. Let's play Black Sun Patch. Boom. If you got that one. Viking ruins. If you got that one, hit your bingo point on that. Three finger salute. Bingo! Right? They've got the NATO patch. We got the sleeve patch mysteriously removed on this one. All of the wars, everything that you're seeing going on in war is a hoax. It's a perpetrated lie that they're doing theater upon the realm to cause nothing but chaos. It's a Hegelian dialectic. Moving on, the government does not create wealth. It steals it and then spends it like drunken sailors. It says here there is no such thing as government funded. It's all, yes, taxpayer stolen. Crazy pedo Joe there. Klaus Schwab is the founder and chairman of the World Economic Forum and the author of the book Cerveza 19, The Great Reset, in which he said, quote, at least 4 billion useless eaters shall be eliminated by the year 2050 by means of limited wars, organized epidemics of fatal, rapid-acting, fake-ass you-know-whats, and starvation. Energy, food, and water shall be kept at substance levels for non-elite, starting with the white populations of Western Europe and the North America, and then spreading to other races. The population of Canada, Western Europe, and the United States will be decimated more rapidly than other countries until the world's population reaches a manageable level of 1 billion, of which 500 million will consist of Chinese and Japanese races, selected because they are the people who have been regimented for centuries and who are accustomed to obeying authority without question. Thanks, Klaus Schwab up his nose. We don't want anything to do with you. You are going to be thrown in the lake of fire. Moving on from that one, government actually creates the crisis, right? So it can rescue you from the loss of freedom. It's called the Hegelian dialectic. Don't get it twisted. Figure this out. Twist up something good, please. And if you'd missed it, the beautiful worm moon is something to behold. I hope you guys took some time to check it out. Look at this one here. I don't accept, quote, science from people who claim men can be women. No, you're all a bunch of cuck-ass Freemasonic New World Order cult followers that come out here and just lie to everybody. We know that there's a difference between a man and a woman, and if you don't, you're not a scientist, you're a retard. This one says, how come nobody died suddenly before the rollout? Right? I wonder why. Moving on from that one, there are 6 media companies that exist today, but there used to be 88. All 6 get their news from Reuters and the Associated Press. Reuters owns the AP, and the Rothschilds own Reuters. The monopoly continues thanks to Frederick Gates and the John D. Rockefeller families that invaded and monopolized the entire realm. That's why we are where we are. Thanks, Jacob. The lake of fire awaits you too. This one says America was founded by people who believed that Azazel was their rock of safety, and they are about to find out exactly how wrong they were. This one says masks have been used for centuries. Don't get this twisted, as a tool of silence and degradation. Does it look better? What should I do to pull close like this? Cover my face with a stupid thing? I'm saving everybody in my own room. You know, I'm keeping my mouth covered in my own room so that I don't, endanger anybody. No, this is an absolute mockery. They're mocking the victim. Anybody that's still wearing these masks has a serious psychological issue. And I feel bad for you. Moving on from that one, know the signs of demonic possession. Number 1, they refer to themselves in the plural as us, we, they, and them, right? Many or legion. 2, crying out, screaming, loud, and they're very obnoxious. 3, self-mutilation. They actually hate Natural human skin and body. Tattoos is what they do. Piercings is what they do. Branding and coloring their hair is what they do. 4, fascination with death, graveyards, and tombs. If you're suffering from any of these things, please get help. Number 5, public nudity. They're violent, they're sometimes obnoxiously strong, and they're always angry. And you can find all these in the book of Mark, chapter 1 through 5, verse 3 through 7. Don't get that twisted. Let's do another song. Matthew, it says here, whoever exalts himself will be humbled, and whoever humbles himself will be exalted. Let's do another song break, and we'll see you after this. We're having technical issues. That's the first time a song wouldn't play correctly. Let's get back into the podcast. We'll skip this song. Back into the Final Cut content. Let's keep going. I don't know what happened with that one. Maybe on your end it sounded okay, but it looks like the fallen angels are pissed and starting to mess with my content. This one says here, no one had an issue with drag shows until you involved kids. No one had an issue with sex changes until you involved kids. It's not about the LGBT rights. It's about the children's rights. Right? That's what we're here to promote. That's what we're doing the Rise and Grind for. We're not doing this for any other reason. Listen, if you want to be a drag queen, go ahead, do it in your own home, in your own privacy. Don't bring in kids, right? No one had an issue if you want to be a woman or a man. If you want to do a sex change, go ahead and do it. But why are you trying to teach it to children? What is wrong with you people? It's not about the LGBT rights. It's about the children's rights. And it always will be. This one says the magic of satellites. They never get hit with space debris. They never collide with other satellites. They never break down or need servicing. They don't melt in the thermosphere. And there isn't a single real photo of one in space. Get you some satellites, huh? Magical satellites. This one says, wake up. The Earth is definitely flat. There's no curve. There's no spin. There's no gravity. NASA deceives. The media lies. Scientism is religion. Public education is indoctrination. Television is mind control. Politicians are corrupt. Masons worship Azazel. Occultists rule the world. There is no outer space. Aliens are demons. Vaccines are eugenics. Cancer is women. They're hiding the truth. They're hiding the creator. They want your children's minds. They're coming for your guns. They want you to obey, submit, conform because you were a slave. And in the end, you will get what you deserve. Wake up or do some research. Your ignorance is a choice. Your children deserve the truth. I like that one. Thought we'd read that super fast. This one here says, in order to awaken, first one must realize that one is in a state of sleep. And in order to realize that one is indeed in a state of sleep, one must recognize and fully understand the nature of the forces which operate to keep one in the state of sleep or hypnosis. It is absurd to think that this can be done by seeking information from the very source which includes the hypnosis. One thing alone is certain is that man's slavery grows and increases. Man is becoming a willing slave. He no longer needs chains. He begins to grow fond of his slavery, to be proud of it. The America, with the free, the land of the brave, the land of the slave. And this is the most terrible thing that could happen to a man. Great quote. Skipped one. Let's go into another song. Let's see if this one works. I'll see you guys after this.
Rolling slow, go so Touch me like a lover. Touch me like a lover. Touch me like a lover. Touch me like a lover.
And that was SYML with Believer, the fitness version. Let's get back into the memes of the morning before we get about our Friday, March 10th. This one says, what if I told you, right? What if I told you I'm not a liberal or a conservative? Because my views span the political spectrum since they are based on morals and research, not hypothetical, corrupt political parties. Hypocritical, corrupt political parties. We don't side with either side. You're all corrupt. You're all going to burn in the lake of fire. I hope you're enjoying your fancy cars and your fancy lunches now. This one says, when you see that they're playing both sides of one psyop, when there's two sides to one side, let me get this right. Forgive me, you guys. That'll be a good blooper reel, right? When you see that they're playing one psyop with two sides, things start to make a lot more sense. Right? Moving on. Life begins at conception. Nothing grows if it is not living. So if you're going to have sex, you're going to have a baby. And have one. A new command that I give unto you. Love one another as I have loved you. So you must love one another. That's from John 13:34. This one says, Happy International Women's Day to all the men. Did you know this? The list of countries that pulled their ambassadors out of Turkey 24 hours before the earthquake? Canada, USA, Britain, Germany, Belgium, Italy, Holland, and France. How did they know that the earthquake was going to take place, but they didn't warn the people? Right? Interesting. This one says, wake up, sheep! It's all been a lie. Right? Again, some more beautiful pictures of this guy. Let's do one more song break and we'll head into the last section of the morning. I'll see you guys after this.
Voice like an echo. Tell me that you
This new one's by Vav King with Echo. Big sound right here, big tune. Thank you for tuning in. That was a big, big tune. Let's get back into the finale of this podcast of the morning. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's check this out. Herbs for higher consciousness, it says. So getting ready for the spring. We're going to have our herbs growing. We've got nutmeg, rose. I wanted to get you guys to understand blue lotus, cacao, cocoa, hishowu, Bobniasna. I don't know all these, but I've got to learn them. Kratom, skullcap, apparently brings balance to the nervous system and gets an anchor to bring consciousness back to the body after astral stuff. Holy basil, right? These are all different things that I want you guys to get familiar with, right? Because in the spring here, we can go out and we can actually form natural herbs, right? We got plantain, wild mustard, lamb's quarters. We got miner's lettuce, purple dead nettle itself, parslane, ramps, chickweed, dock, dandelion, and plantain. These are all things that I want people to get accustomed to. These were put here by the Creator for our health. They go with our food. We can add them to our proteins, and they give us much, much more. Excuse me. Pardon me, we're still moving on past not feeling our best, but we're actually starting to get much better. But yeah, so this spring, I want you to get familiar. We're going to continue to bring these up, and we're going to show you how to find these and how to use them and how to properly get their benefits, okay? Now, we're moving on to a very, very important special meme of the morning. Did you guys know on the other side of the screen that hemp removes toxins from the soil? Right? It says here, a mass amount of the world's soil is contaminated with toxic heavy metals and hazardous man-made chemicals. Hemp, the miracle plant that it is, removes these toxins from the soil in a process called phytoremediation. Hemp is used to clean up toxic contamination from industrial spills, landfill, and sewage leakage, fertilizers, and pesticides, thus making hemp the cure to detoxify the contaminated soil from the Ohio train derailment. How about that? Get this shared up all over social media. Anybody that's crying about this spill, listen, all you got to do is move these trains away and plant hemp. Just plant hemp. We're not done with the hemp yet. Did you know that hemp captures carbon emissions? The things that the New World Order says they got to reduce the population down because of the carbon, the cow farts. Look at this. It says here, hemp breathes in and absorbs carbon dioxide, a major heat-trapping so-called greenhouse gas from the atmosphere at an even higher rate than trees. 1 hectare of hemp absorbs 22 tons of CO2 every year, while a hectare of trees absorbs only 6.4 tons of CO2 per year. And the best part, we're not done yet. You can grow 2 crops of hemp per year, making that 44 tons of captured carbon emissions. So basically, the answer to Greta Thunberg and the BS Rockefeller New World Order Bill Gates science is hemp. Hemp is what we could do, and it's easy. I've already done the math in my head and the projections. All you would have to do is scatter out farms of hemp throughout the realm. Every 10 miles, you do a grid square 20 hectares of hemp. Another 10 miles, you do another 20 hectares of hemp. And you do this throughout the whole entire realm, and the whole earth would be healed. But no, we want to create millions and millions of debt, and we want to kill people instead of growing hemp. And I'm not done with hemp. The last but not least, hemp is a zero-waste plant with endless uses. Hemp can be used to produce more than 25,000 different products like clothing, food, beauty, and skincare products, biofuel, paper, and construction materials. Every part of the plant, from the seeds to the stringy fibers and the woody core, is usable, which means #no waste and an endless benefit plant. Not only that, strategically placing it throughout the realm in different hectares and square plots of land will start to regenerate the air, will start to make everything cleaner and pure. And these, I said 10 hectares of selected, properly placed hemp farms throughout the entire realm. Look at how many other things it'll give us: food, clothing, medical products, building materials. I could just go on and lip balm, clothes. I'm going to get me some hemp clothes. Be prepared. This summer, you're going to see me in the hemp clothes. I can't say enough about hemp. And again, bringing it back to the most important thing of the morning, if you want to deal with all these stupid ass spills that these New World Order agents are causing, you're just going to have to plant hemp, right? That's it. Let's move on here. What a beautiful clouds behind the moon. This picture was taken of the worm moon in Los Angeles. This is beautiful. I don't like the cityscape. It needs to go. We need to put trees here and hemp farms. But yes, you can clearly see there's clouds in front of the moon, right? And wispy ones that are not being obscured by the brightness of the moon. And you can clearly see there are clouds behind the moon. Let's zoom in on this just for everybody at home. I hope you're watching this on large screen televisions. It's all created. There you go. As you can clearly see, there are clouds behind the moon, clouds in front of the moon, and wispy clouds that are not being blown out by the brightness of the light of the reflection of the moon. Right? The moon has its own light. But I just wanted to show everybody that. Thank you for tuning in. It's Friday, March 10th. The time is now 9:05 a.m. in the Central Standard Time. And did you know that I want you to go on and find someone who hears your music the same way that you do? That's who you got to find, right? That's who you need to find. Oh, you guys, we finally made it to the wrap up. I enjoyed this podcast. It was a lot of fun. I feel that we've explored many things that I really wanted to share with the realm today. And I'm very thankful that I have such a strong team behind me, a small but yet super powerful team. And these podcasts wouldn't be possible without the help of our small but powerful team. This one here says, choose. I choose to live by choice, not by chance, to be motivated, not manipulated, to help, not be used, to make changes, not excuses, to excel, not compete. I choose self-esteem, not self-pity. I choose to listen to my inner voice, not to random opinions of others. And I choose to be better than yesterday, always evolving. What are you going to choose this weekend? This one says, to have someone understand your soul is a different kind of intimacy. It truly, truly is. When you mature as a soul individual, you're going to find that the physical things of this life are just temporary and fleeting. Yet the ones that cherish deep inside your soul are the everlasting things that you want to strive for, right? And it takes movement and struggle. But when you find somebody that understands your soul, it's a totally different kind of intimacy. It really is. It really is. This one says the ego is impatient because its time is limited, but the spirit is patient because it knows it is eternal. I love this. This imagery is beautiful. I love this. Just really well done. Thank you guys for tuning in. This one says, be yourself. The world is filled with people who, no matter what you do, no matter what you try, they just simply will not like you. But the world is also filled with those who will love you fiercely. The ones who love you, yes, they are your people. Thank you, Atomogenesis. This one says, go on and trust your journey. Be grateful that certain things didn't work out. Sometimes you don't even know where you're being protected from or where you're being guided to when you're in the midst of all the chaos. That's why you just have to trust the greater things are aligning for you and to let go gracefully. This is very hard to do, but you can do it on the other side of the screen. I know you can. It says, as you evolve, you will make a lot of people uncomfortable, but go on and evolve anyway. Just keep doing it, and you need to understand. It is so easy to judge, but it is very difficult to understand. Understanding is deeper than knowledge. Understanding requires compassion, patience, and a willingness to believe that good hearts, yes, sometimes choose poor methods. Through judging, we actually separate, but through understanding, we grow and find the way to peace. So go on and understand, don't judge, please, because then you're going to evolve, right? It says here, when you are evolving to your higher self, the road seems so lonely, but you're simply shedding energies that no longer match the frequency of your destiny. Life is about evolving. Don't stay in a situation that's not helping you grow mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. Continue to grow and evolve with us, please. That's what we're here for, okay? And now that was last but not least, and I just want to give everyone a huge shout out. Thank you to everybody. Most importantly, thank you to the creator Yahawah for everything that he's done, and his son Yahawahashai for all the hard work and effortless and all the things that we cherish dear that are going to be with us for eternity come from Yahawah and Yahawahashai. So let's give thanks to them today. Let's hold our heads up high. Let's put our arms up to the sky. Let's get out there. Let's fight for truth and freedom. Let's do the things that need to be done, and let's just have a good, cheerful heart. All those people on Facebook, I know who you guys are. Keep fighting. Keep sharing the truth. Keep making people laugh. You are so needed beyond words. And just thank you so much. Thank you most importantly to my teammate from the Estonia, DJ Zinbad, for all your effortless, tireless hard work. And I just thank you, everybody that tuned in and everybody that's going to tune in. we might be live on Sunday, but we've done quite a bit of podcasts. We might have a little downtime here leading into next week. So again, today's Friday, March 10th. The time is now 9:10 a.m. in the Central Standard Time, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for everybody that tunes in, that's been with us for the year. I'm so excited that we managed to get in a podcast each and every week. In the beginning, we did like 4 or 5 a week, but now it's down to 1, and it's a decently length program, but we try to get in as much as we possibly can. And I give all glory and credit to the Father Yahawah and his son Yahawahashai for giving me the endurance, the balance, and the strength, and to the very special people that are behind the scenes. You mean more to me than I could ever express. So I'm going to see you guys later. Have a great weekend. Thank you for tuning in, and share the truth and love. Just go and love.
Visions of ecstasy, sapphires are calling me. Take my soul to keep. Used to me in my dreams, demons fight the night to see my angels cry to see. Oh, when I close my eyes, I know I'll be alright. Even if the stars collide, clear to you. Sunset kissed the day goodbye. Fell in love in summertime. And lullaby. Lost myself, I lost control. Emotion overdose. I found my soul in you. Oh, when I close my eyes, you know I'll be alright. Even if the stars collide, clear to you. It's you, only you. The light that takes it all, the light that's coming back to me like clarity. Only you, only you.